Deriving the Answers from Nature, the Art of God. I've always been a nature lover, an animal lover. How about yourself? Those who are animal lovers and nature lovers out there, tell me who you are. And I've had various experiences over quite a number of years, and very beautiful ones, where I saw how God speaks to us through nature. Hi Ima, hi Kaushik, hi, I can't see your name there, hi, how are you? Those are coming online, so I'll just wait for a few seconds before starting. A little bit of music, nature music. So yes, I wanted to talk about this today because many times we take for granted the importance of the signs from nature, and you don't realize how these signs can come to us almost daily, not just once in a while, but if you truly connect with nature and with God, He speaks to us through His canvas. Okay? He speaks to us through His canvas. So I spoke about this in my previous episode, episode 7. I spoke about how I got a call from a contact, and I didn't tell you exactly what really happened. Okay? So she was saying how spiders and cobwebs started appearing in her house, just suddenly. Inside her house and also just outside, just suddenly. And she couldn't understand why. I mean, it's not that she kept the place a mess. No, it just happened just like that. And then I realized, it's funny because I had something like that. When my father had a heart attack on the 5th of December, suddenly out of the blue, 2 little baby doves decided to move in. Decided to move into my house. I mean, these are wild doves, and they haven't left since. They're walking on the carpets, they're sunbathing on the balcony. It's just so beautiful and wonderful, and the feeling of peace. So when she told me that, how the spider webs, cobwebs were just appearing just like that, and I realized, yes, God is speaking through this canvas of nature. And sometimes we need to go beyond just acknowledging. Sometimes it requires action. Because if it's something that's a sudden thing, it's alerting us. The doves appearing to me, actually coming to me, telling me, you've got to be peaceful. We're here to keep the peace. Be calm. It'll be okay. Everything will be fine. And my dad is fine. Okay? So now I'll talk a little bit about the spider's web. At first glance, you think, oh, it's a bad omen. It's bad. Spiders, creepy crawly. But actually that's quite the opposite. I'll read you one verse. So are the paths of all who forget God, whose trust is a spider's web. He leans on his house, but it does not stand. This is Job 8, 13 to 15. The spider's web looks very fragile, right? And what it's saying here is that those who forget God, they want to trust the spider's web. The spider's web means you are trusting on your own understanding, your own strength, or you're trusting on the world. So it's questioning you. Why don't you trust in me instead of trusting on the spider's web, on the world, on your own understanding? So God is alerting us to trust in Him. Okay, that's one way of looking into it. So he's saying, lean on me during this time of trouble. Lean on me during this time of trouble, because I will be there and I will not let you break. Do not trust on the world's wisdom. Trust on the wisdom that I have to give you. Okay? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. That's one way of looking at it. And that's what the spider's web was trying to tell her, that to go back to him, it will be okay. Now, as I said, this is one way of looking at it. But there's also another way. In everything there is a dual meaning to it. Now, the spider's web is powerful. The way God has created it to be is quite significant. Something which scientists now are trying to understand. Okay? One thing is the beauty of the spider's web, the accuracy of the lacy pattern. Accuracy of the lacy pattern. Spider can weave a perfect web. So, we are being alerted that can we not trust in God weaving into our life a pattern of His perfect will? See how it reflects directly, alerting us of His perfect will and design for us. For I know the thoughts that I think toward you, says the Lord, thoughts of peace and not of evil, to give you a future and hope. The other thing about the spider's web is its massive strength, even though it looks so fragile. I don't know whether this is true, but the weight a spider's web is up to 5 times as strong as steel. What is it telling us? We may think that we are fragile, but if we attain God's strength, we can be indomitable. Even if you're confronted by confident and loud voices, condemnation, in our appearance of our fragility, as we connect with God, we allow ourselves to bring in a strength that we never knew was there, that never knew existed. Now that's God's promise to us. So even look at a spider's web as being fragile. We are being reminded that His strength is perfect on us as we lean on Him in weakness. In our times of weakness, we are being reminded to lean on Him. Don't put yourself in that state of collapse, depression, worst case suicide. Don't. In our times of weakness, realize that we have Him to lean on. This is how He's speaking to us through the canvas of nature. Okay? His strength is made perfect in weakness. When I was much younger, my uncle spoke to my father and he said, I don't know how Tahira is going to survive in this world because she seems so fragile. She's so affected by things. When I encountered God in 2013, I became a totally different person. So my fragility was strengthened in Him. Okay? Third thing, A spider's web can withstand great testing. When we are strengthened in Him, we can withstand great testing. Let me explain to you. Spider's web can withstand a hurricane strength wind. It can stretch, its thread can stretch up to 40% before it breaks. Steel can only stretch up to 8%. The nylon on our stocking, woman's stocking, can only stretch up to 20% and then it breaks. But the spider's web, crafted in nature, requires 40% of testing, of pulling, of damage before it actually breaks. A reminder again of His resilience in us, God's resilience in us to get us through most difficult times. As He built the resilience in the spider's web, He's also reminding us to withstand the wrong path that can come in front of us. He's reminding us of that. No temptation has overtaken you except such as common to man. But God is faithful, who will not allow you to be tempted beyond what you are able, and with the temptation also make way of escape, that you may be able to bear it. With Him you will be able to bear it. Okay? As I found Him and I allowed to connect with Him, I developed the strength of the spider's web, as you all should also. And when that sign came to her, to my friend, of the spider's web, she was being reminded of the resilience that God has put into her, the resilience that He has for her, because she was going through a testing time, that He was her protection and support. And not just that, protection and support is out there, He has arranged in the world. And it turned out that she had suddenly a great amount of protection for her, ready and waiting. And if that spider's web, the cobwebs, did not appear in her house, alerting her, she would not have known of that support which was coming from another person that was waiting for her. She had no clue. And God was speaking through her, through that, through nature. So take it seriously, you know. I'm getting signs like this from plants, from animals. Of course, you know, from events and people too, but I'm saying that don't neglect the beauty of nature as a canvas, as God uses the paintbrush to paint your life. Fourth, the spider's web can withstand various loads, different types of loads. Okay? Unlike any natural or any other natural or man-made material, the silk thread of the spider's web has the ability to soften or stiffen at various times for different things that would fall upon it. So, it tells us that in our lives, we may have different loads or burdens that we may have to carry. And sometimes we feel crushed upon that weight. We are being reminded that God has given us strength to carry not only our own weight, but also the weight of others. So don't deny helping others because you feel that I can't even take care of myself. God has given you strength that you will be able to take care of yourself because He is there. He is there to provide the support through the angels and the mentors and saints arranged around you, and you can still continue to help others. Bear one another's burdens, for each one shall bear their own. So don't turn away someone who needs help because you yourself are suffering. Help regardless. The fifth thing, timing is everything. Now the spider releases a substance called scleroprotein, from which it spins its silk threads. The spider controls the water content of this gel to keep it from crystallizing before it is ready to spin the web. Okay? If the protein crystallizes too soon, the whole process would fail. So it's a fine art of controlling the water content and the protein as it does the spinning. It's all about timing. Perfect timing. That's an instinct as the spider crafts the web. Teaching us that timing is everything. And sometimes we have to be a little bit patient for the right timing for something big to happen in our life. For that right event to happen, and not to lose hope, to hang on to faith and hope and keep plowing through, reminding us to maintain in our prayers patience, and to trust that even if we don't feel His presence, to keep going and communicating and connecting. Also, timing is everything in our lives, alerting us that every day as we spend our lives to be watchful and alert of the opportunities being presented to us, so that we can spin our web of our life to perfection. Okay? To spin our life, the web of our lives to perfection as we create that beautiful artistry, the beautiful portrait of our life. There is a timing for everything. There's a timing when you, there's a timing everything that we do, every part, every stages. What we do in every stage is different. Okay? So timing is everything. And being in tune with God's message, being in tune and not to tune out and to lose yourself in depression, to lose yourself in sadness, because I know I've been through that. I've gone through depression, I've gone through sadness, prolonged depression. And many times when we lose ourselves in depression, we lose so many opportunities because we cannot see the beauty of the canvas that God has prepared for us. And we will not be able to craft out things and understand and work out with the perfect timing. So what I've mentioned so far, the 5 points. Okay, I just gave the example of the spider's web as something as aspect from nature. Do not just automatically think that it's something that's scary or negative. So the beauty is one. The beauty is one, reminding us about the perfection, God's perfection in us. The strength in the web, that we have strength, access to strength from God and from within us, and that we can also pass it on and help others. Then third is that we can withstand great testing. And fourth, that we can bear, reminding us to bear different types of loads. And timing is everything. Okay, timing is everything. So next time you get a sign from God through nature, step back, be happy about it. Not all signs are bad. Most of them are good. And try to reflect, look into the Word of God and see the answers there. And do something, because many times it's an alert if it happens suddenly. Now I have in front of me a little baby dove that is waiting to come into the house. There she is. There she is. But I'm saying no. I'm saying no. I'm saying no. Because she's always wanting to come in. And then there's another one. Alright, so thank you very much. Please visit my website, tahiraamirkhan.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Tahira Golden Door TV. And, today's Friday, so I'll see you on Monday, 3 p.m. Singapore time. That would be 2.5 hours before India and 3 hours before Pakistan. Have a great weekend ahead. If you have any questions, if you have any experiences like this with nature, feel free to send me a PM, share with me, write in the comments, and I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.